Unscripted.
We've come quite a long way over the last few months when it comes to the PlayStation 5, and I think nothing kind of reiterates that like this video that I'm going to do here. Again, nobody's perfect. I just want to make that perfectly clear. No company's perfect. There's the games, that's the most important thing, but it is a little bit ironic how this kind of turned out for Sony, especially given all the stuff that a lot of the Xbox people and a lot of the stuff that Microsoft was saying, right? Like they were cashing checks that they couldn't cash. They were making checks that they couldn't cash. And I think that that's a bit of a problem when it comes to technology and stuff like that. It just goes to show you that, hey, once again, they really kind of let their entire fan base down, and not only have they let their fan base down, but they've really kind of let gamers in general down. Like for me personally, I bought into the whole idea that the Xbox Series X would definitely play third-party games somewhat better, and that's why I got some third-party games on the Xbox Series X. Now, again, is this something that is really gonna matter long term? Probably not. But again, I like to point out that for as much crap as I get, right, and as much as people try to make me out to be that I'm irrelevant, if you look back over the past 6 months or so, look at the things that I said. I said that it would be the smallest gap between two competing Xbox and PlayStation consoles ever launched, that there would be minimal difference in third-party games whatsoever, and that it all comes down to the first party. And that it looked like Microsoft's first party wasn't going to be really something to write home about until 2023, 2024. And that particular aspect I've been talking about for the last year and a half, 2 years, because I'm intelligent enough to look at what their studios are doing, what they're coming out with, and just kind of being a realistic approach to it and saying, hey, they're probably not going to have anything ready until that time. And so while everybody was busy calling me a fearmonger and saying I didn't know what I was talking about, here we are, launch of these two consoles, and it's played out exactly how I just said it was going to play out. And I think that it's funny because the ones that were saying, hey, it's gonna be the best console ever. Can you imagine not playing third-party games on the best console and the better console and things like that? The people that were hyping up how great Xbox Series X would be, right? The people that were doing that, well, guess what? Now they're the ones that are saying stuff like, both are great. It's just great to be gamers. We're all just gamers here. We shouldn't even talk about this. This is very interesting stuff to me, and I hate to stick it to people, but you know what? I'm going to stick it to some people today because I want to, and because at the end of the day, I was right, they were wrong, and it is what it is. Look, having more subscribers, having more views doesn't make somebody better, doesn't make somebody right. Alright, so let's get that started. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me personally. If you guys want to help out a small, little, insignificant channel like me, a simple like really goes a long way. It honestly does. It's free for you, and it means everything to me. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Also, if you guys really want to help me out, you can also hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops. I do daily content. Yeah, you can do all that kind of stuff. Take a minute to consider subscribing. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. What a crazy year it's been, right? Like, crazy year. I have to be honest. Like, I don't brag about numbers. I don't talk about anything like that. But this has been the biggest year I've ever had on YouTube. And that's all thanks to you guys, and I just wanted to say thank you for that, and I'm much appreciated. So shout out to all you guys that rock out with me all the time and stuff like that. It does mean a lot. So again, let's get into this, right? Because this is what it's all about now. And I got this off of Twitter. So 2 months ago, this is what we are hearing. PlayStation 5 doesn't have hardware ray tracing. PS5 is RDNA 1.5. PS5 is all the way from 18 to 40% weaker. It was a PS4 Pro 2.0. PS5 doesn't even exist. They're not ready to launch because they haven't shown it. You guys remember that one? People were saying that they were afraid to show it off because they didn't have it because it was overheating and stuff like that. PS5 doesn't have SVS. VRS, random buzzwords. Again, this is something that a lot of people were talking about. Oh, well, it doesn't have velocity architecture. It doesn't have quick resume, and it doesn't have this or that. And, just to me, I was like, none of that stuff really matters at the end of the day, because it's going to be a solid piece of technology. And I was listening to what developers were saying about it, which are that it was a fantastic piece of technology. Now, Sony are being so quiet because they don't have these things. They're beat. They would shout from the rooftops if they did. Sony didn't send out consoles because they don't want to be compared to the Xbox Series X. Wait for Digital Foundry comparisons. And now, all of a sudden, the same people that were saying all of this stuff for the past 2-3 months are saying the Xbox Series X tools aren't ready. Give it time, bro. This is, shout out to the dude on Twitter who came up with this, but there's probably a lot more to this list than is even listed. But if this is not the gospel right here, I don't know what is, right? And look at it. You can look at anybody's body of work over the past few months and what they were talking about, and again, you're going to see that a lot of people were saying exactly these same things. The Xbox faithful were saying all of this stuff. We're saying that it was simple math and the deltas and this, and the Xbox Series X was going to do so many more frame rates just because of the GPU and all this kind of stuff, and then it ended up not being right. And again, I'm not super tech experty or anything like that, but you can kind of learn things just by picking up a few things here and there, and which I've done that, and then you kind of read into what actual developers, people that have worked on the hardware, are saying, and you can kind of do a pretty good job of kind of talking about this stuff. And that's sort of what I've been doing in terms of talking about what these things are offering. Now, again, do I think the Xbox Series X is a bad console? No. It's technically more powerful on paper, but again, the Cleveland Browns technically last year were a Super Bowl contender on paper and ended up finishing 6-10 or whatever it is. So, just because something looks good on paper doesn't necessarily translate to, it being like this ultimate be-all, end-all thing all the way around. Even more so, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably tired of these comparisons and stuff like that, but I did want to kind of point this out. So, Digital Foundry just did a video yesterday. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, PS5 versus PC graphics analysis plus optimized PC settings. Now, this is very interesting because they compare it with the PS5 against the PC, not the Xbox Series X, when it's Microsoft that actually has marketing rights for the game and the technically more powerful console. So that should make you think right away. Now, I'm not, this is the thing, because I don't want a bunch of PC people coming at me going, oh man, what an ignorant thing to say. This is what I'm trying to say when it comes to this, okay? You can pick up a PlayStation 5 for $399, a digital one for $399. It includes your controller, your HDMI cable, everything you need, okay? For that price, you are not touching that value on any PC. Any PC. You're just not. And not only that, but what they were able to achieve here, the PlayStation 5 approximate settings on this actually outshine what the PC version was doing. Okay? So a lot of Xbox fanboys were saying, like here, I'll read this little snippet for you. And of course, I'm going to link this and you guys can check it out. Here's a piece. Choosing a particular stress point on PlayStation 5, which drops beneath 60 frames per second and hits the minimum 1440p resolution, I could run Assassin's Creed PC version fixed at 1440p with as close to equivalent settings as possible. And here's where we see the NVIDIA's AMD divide in action. First of all, RTX 2060 Super is 20% slower than the PlayStation 5, dropping to 10% with an RTX 2070 Super. Now, based on tests with the 2080 Ti, it looks like a 2080 Super or RTX 3060 Ti would be required to match or exceed PlayStation 5's output. So again, what they're saying is it looks like it would take a 2080 Super or an RTX 3060 Ti to match or exceed the PlayStation 5's output. Like, how can anybody not be impressed with this for $400? Again, I'm not saying that you can't get better performance from a PC. Everybody knows that, right? But when somebody just goes off and says PC is the best option to play all multiplats, and I would sit there and stress whose PC, because I have a pretty decent PC, but my PC is not playing multiplats better than my PS5. It's just not. And in fact, you look at some stuff like the new NBA 2K game, that's not even, the next gen version isn't even on PC. Only the last gen version's on PC. The next gen version is only Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, right? You know what I'm saying? So again, that really kind of goes to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying that you can't put a bunch of money into a PC and have it be better, because obviously that is the that's the way of life. But the funny thing was that it was the Xbox dudes that were saying that the Xbox Series X was the 2080. Okay, they were the ones saying that for months, and now all of a sudden, you know, they don't. We're all just gamers here. Both are great. You know, they have this faux thing where they pretend not to want to play their PS5 a lot because they're worried about something. Well, I can tell you right now, I've had no problems with my PS5. No problems in rest mode. It's in rest mode right now. The only problems that I've had with next-gen consoles has been on the Xbox side, with their shoddy work on the quick resume and that kind of stuff. So, again, to each their own, but I was right in a lot of this. People wanted to call me out as a fearmonger or whatever, but I ended up being right. So yeah, you know, I think you guys got to kind of take the L on that one. Again, they're comparing the PS5 to high-end PC here. Why not the Xbox Series X if it was that good? Food for thought. I'm gonna link it. In the meantime, rack that up. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.